Ever wonder what UNIQLO AIR-ism is? Let me tell you what's behind the tech. I'm Joe. I've been in manufacturing for over a decade, and I've overseen the production of millions of products all over the world. And on this show, we take apart pieces from your favorite brands, see if the quality is there, and I'll let you know if it's worth your hard-earned money. This is Industry Secrets. All right, we're back. What do you have for me this week?
Check this one out.
UNIQLO U, a collection of progressive essentials created in our Paris atelier by our artistic director, Christophe Lemaire. That is so French and so marketing intensive. And a team of international designers. Employing advanced materials, pursuing new standards in craftsmanship, and exploring new and unique shapes. UNIQLO U is our commitment to reinventing basics for your wardrobe. That definitely was an entire team of people to create that statement. But this is their Airism cotton, half sleeve oversized t-shirt, 53% cotton, 47% polyester, 30% uses recycled polyester fiber. So that's either 30% of the entire garment or 30% of the 47%. And this is made in Bangladesh. So this is a community request. A lot of people requested Airism. It seems to be quite a popular item here. When it comes to Airism, it's all about wicking and breathability. And how they actually achieve that, you'll see here that the inside is a different color from the outside. That is because the inside is actually different material. When it comes to this garment here, they're not actually blending or fiber blending it. They're using a different yarn and they're using a double knitting machine. So the outside of the shirt is actually going to be cotton and the inside of the shirt itself is going to be polyester. And why is that important? So when it comes to a garment being sweat wicking, polyester by its actual structure itself is going to be sweat wicking because it is what we call hydrophobic. So it does not absorb moisture, whereas the cotton will. So the way this functionally works is the polyester on the inside is going to be against your skin through what's called capillary action. It's actually going to draw that moisture out. And now it's going to bring it to the top fabric, which is the cotton. And it's going to now move it from your body to the cotton. And now the cotton is going to spread it and cause evaporation. There's nothing really special about Airism. It's just a knitting technique in terms of how you make the fabric. But the combination of these two is what's going to give it its unique properties. And I think honestly at this price point, what is this, $24.90? This is not just a basic t-shirt. You're gonna have a little bit of technology in here in terms of the fabric knitting. It's not gonna be knit on a single needle machine. It's gonna be knit on a double needle knitting machine to get this structure. So while polyester is hydrophobic, it is also oleophilic. So what that means is it's going to absorb moisture. When you get a shirt like this, because it is drawing away that sweat away from your body, it's also drawing away that oil that your body creates. And what's gonna happen long term is it's gonna start to smell long term unless you're taking care of it in terms of removing that bacteria that's coming along with the oil. I suspect that around the armpits, it's gonna absorb a lot. Around the back, it's gonna absorb a lot of those oils. And again, a lot of bacteria is gonna be brought into this garment. So long term, to care for this garment, you're definitely gonna have to make sure that you're paying attention in terms of washing it properly to kill all that bacteria off and not letting it sit unwashed for a long time because that's just gonna cause the bacteria to breed as well. So you can really see on the inside here, the difference of the polyester versus the cotton. But these are just overlock seams on the sides, overlock around the arms, double needle cover stitch for the arm hem as well as the bottom. Then over here for the neck ribbing, just one seam here. I think we did the Pima cotton crew neck, and the Pima cotton crew neck actually, they balanced the neck ribbing by having seams on both sides, but I think at this price point of $24.90, they're doing whatever they can to still kind of push a good product, but cut down their costs. They do have a single needle cover stitch for the collar itself, as well as a little bit of neck tape here. Overall, in terms of the workmanship, there's no standout defects here. Like there's no untrimmed threads. Seem pretty clean. You can put what's called an immobilizer in certain seams just to stiffen it up and to stop it from stretching too much. You'll see if I grab this seam here, based off of the seam construction, you can actually just stretch it a little. But by having this black immobilizer, sometimes it's clear, you limit that stretch, so it forces the garment to kind of sit on you better. I like how thin and small it is. A lot of brands, they'll use this kind of like clear plastic one. Over time, that kind of just breaks up and falls through the seams. But this is a nice application of this. And then we have the hang tags on the size label as well as a woven main label. All right, so that is the initial look at the shirt itself. Let me take this apart here and we'll show you all the panel pieces you need to make this garment. And I'm actually going to take apart the fabric itself so you can see the different yarns that they've used to make this. But before I do, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe because we're doing some really cool stuff here. And I can't wait to show you guys what we've been working on. You see where a traditional arm sleeve might have a little bit more curve. This one is going to be a lot larger just because it's probably drop shoulder. I do like how they actually put a cover stitch on the top here. So whenever you're doing a serge seam, usually this is going to be left loose, but they cover stitched it over here just so it needs nice and flat on the inside of the sleeve, which is a nice attention to detail. There's the sleeve panels. There's the ribbing. You can see here, like basically almost like a little twill tape. Usually when they're applying these, they have these on rolls that will feed it in while you're doing the seam. But again, what that does is it immobilizes the seam and it stiffens it up to prevent it from stretching. Here is the front of the shirt. Let me take apart this fabric itself. A lot of people in the comments have been asking for more information on fabric. So spend a little bit more time diving into this here. So you'll see here, I've pulled off the polyester yarn from the backside, and then you'll see that this fabric right here is now the cotton. There's the cotton layer, there's the polyester layer, and it's a mechanical connection at the end of the day to join these two fabrics. But you'll see each yarn here is actually made up of multiple filaments. So now that I've taken the fabric apart, I just want to show you basically what a double knit is. So on the back side here, you'll see these are the polyester yarns that I've taken off, and there's the cotton. So this would be what we call a single jersey knit over here. And you can tell when it's single jersey knit, because if I pull on it, it'll curl as well. And single jersey knits will curl when you pull on them. Whereas you'll see the base fabric itself does not really curl. And then on the flip side here, I've removed some of the cotton, and you can see the polyester fabric in the back there. But that is how you get Airism. You combine polyester on the inside, which is going to be sweat wicking, and cotton on the outside. All right, so that is basically a crash course on what Airism is ultimately. Again, here are all the panel pieces you need to make this t-shirt. You have both of your sleeve panels here. You have your front panel as well as your back panel, your ribbing, the immobilizer in the seam over here, as well as the care labels, the hang tags, and the main label. So next, let's see what the weight is of this fabric. I'm gonna tell you what I think this costs to make in Bangladesh, and then I'm gonna give it my final score. So let's take the fabric here. So this is going to be 204 GSM, so they're probably aiming for around 200, 205 GSM. Okay, so with the knowledge that it is 205 GSM, around 200 GSM, it is 53% cotton, 47% polyester. It is a double knit and is made in Bangladesh. The workmanship is pretty decent, I would say, in terms of making a shirt. On the bottom here, it could be improved a little bit in terms of the seams, but that's really nitpicking. I think for $24.99, this is a pretty good bargain. What would I give it as my final score? In terms of its fabric itself, For a t-shirt at this price point, it is definitely something that is, you know, quote unquote innovative in terms of its space. It's going to provide something that's above and beyond what a basic t-shirt is going to be. But again, because it's polyester inside, you just got to make sure you take care of it in terms of bacterial growth to stop it from smelling over time. But I would say in terms of fabric, I would give this a 8 out of 10. How they could have improved it, they could have probably used a Pima cotton on the outside just to give it a little softer hand feel. But again, at this price point, I think it's a pretty good fabric choice. In terms of its construction, I would say there's not a lot of defects that I can see in terms of how it's made, from the fabric to how it's sewn. I'm gonna give this a 9 out of 10. In terms of attention to detail, from what we've seen so far, I've reviewed 2 UNIQLO items. They seem to have pretty good attention to detail. Even the little choices in terms of their choice of immobilizer, in terms of using this fabric for this garment, I'm gonna have to give attention to detail a 8 out of 10 here. What I would have liked to see would be kind of what they did on the Pima shirt, balance the ribbing here. And they probably could have done a little bit more in terms of having a cover stitch on the shoulder seam, but they finished it with the immobilizer here. So in terms of attention detail, again, 8 out of 10. All right, and the last category is going to be value. I think when you really look at this shirt, the UNIQLO U shirt, it's not a basic t-shirt. There's gonna be a lot of thought and attention paid to creating this garment. From the design, it's on trend. From the fabric itself, you get a little bit of their fabric innovation, which is the double knit fabric. It's pretty decent hand feel as well. At $24.90 Canadian, I think that's pretty decent value. It could be a little bit cheaper. Obviously, I think a 10 out of 10 would be like if they sold this for $10, but at $24.90, I think you're getting a lot here. A lot of people, when it comes to the brand, they find UNIQLO a little boring, but if you don't care about that, I'll give this a 9 out of 10 for value. So that brings the final score to 34 out of 40. I think it's a pretty decent value for the shirt at the end of the day. Let us know what other brands you want to see us take apart on this show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And until next time. If you guys want to see more behind the scenes secrets on the fashion industry and learn more about how to create products and brands, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and check out these videos.